if you're looking towards having that happen, where with the change in society and jobs, we need homes, small homes for people.
Right.
And how are you looking at addressing that here? I mean, this is wonderful, but how are you addressing the next step is to actually create tiny homes or communities where people can actually stay as long as they need to, whether it's transitional by choice or whether it's I'm very happy in this space and I can stay here.
Right. So we are we're working to put together a development group that will include the Housing Authority and some of the builders that are local to address some of those affordable housing issues for the longer term. And what that looks like will depend on what the group kind of puts together. But we understand that this is very like a small slice of what needs to happen. So. Yeah.
So how are you going to deal with the county as far as code and variances? I mean, it's really difficult to get people to move forward on those things because many homeowners say, hey, wait, you're reducing the value of my property by having these things anywhere in our area. If you have a home that's 100, 200, or even 400 square feet, you're reducing the value of my property. You feel that you can address that with the county supervisors and the city council here to actually go to their code enforcement and the planning commission to get the changes necessary to have that happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so code enforcement has actually been part of our project since the very beginning. I think everybody understands that something has to happen, and the status quo is no longer working. In order to change our outcomes, we have to change the way that we're delivering services. So I think that I'm sure that our Board of Supervisors is on board with that. And even in the city of Marysville is also on board with doing what's necessary to allow for change. And I think
so would this come from the private sector, or would this come from the city or county, like as far as land available to move forward with projects like that? Or would that just come from the private community that is that is profit-based versus care-based?
Right. So that's a good question. And moving forward, I think that because we're putting this group that's going to include different counties, the county organizations as well as the nonprofits. So I think we're going to put our heads together and say, what can we do? I think we're pulling from all of our resources.
So you'll be pulling in the building community as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.